Hi, today we'll be talking about logo design the practical way, not the theoretical aspect of it now. The practical way of logo design. So we'll bring in our sketch and draw the logo from scratch. So finish. So let's get started. Bringing in the sketch, open it on the page, and can resize it. I'm gonna Shift Alt to resize. Now, I have a logo slanted. In order to get a vertical proportion, like a very perfect proportion of this, I would like to have it in a vertical way first, then I'll rotate it later. Don't worry, you'll get along why I did or why I'm going to do that now. So let's duplicate this one and click on line 2. I'll draw a vertical line on it. Hold on Shift to make it straight at 90. And I can rotate this to get the 90 angle. Let's see how it goes. It's not necessary it's 100% perfect because it's a sketch. It should just serve as a guide to what you're doing. Okay, I think I'm okay with it. So this is what we're working with in our sketch. Working with this. And so let's start. From circle, I would love to lock this particular image, the sketch, so I don't need to keep dragging and moving around it. Just go to our layer tab, then try to look for the image. Here is the, let's turn it off. Yeah, this is the image. Try to turn it on and off. Then I can now lock it by clicking on this button. Now it's locked, so even if I drag, nothing is going to happen. Now let's go to shape 2. It wants to draw a perfect circle. In the inner part is transparent and the outline is black at 1 pt. Now I can move this to the center, then I can resize at a given actual proportion of Alt and Shift. So this is what we have now. Let me change the width back to 1 pt. Then I can delete this. I don't really need this. Delete. So after that, then duplicate the circle. Hold on, hold, drag and drag to duplicate the circle and drop here. Then I can drag and drop this to around the side. Okay, this is what I have. Now let me make it the size of my sketch. Hold on, hold. Now, so this is the shape that we'll be using here. Shape here. Shape here is what we're using. Now, so the shape we're using is here. So now to get that done, let's create a new circle by clicking on this other Alt to duplicate it, then place it around the center here, then resize, not to resize. Everything you're doing, we are working with proportional shapes, so don't resize in such a way that to make it look distorted. So and now let's turn off the view mode for our sketch so that we can see what we're doing perfectly well. Very good. Now we can move this to make sure while we is shift. So now if you're having a bit challenge making this touch the edge of this other one here, let's come to view and snap to return off snap to glyph, go back to view again, return off snap to point, then go to view, return to view, we give it snap to pixel. So let's now we have this. Now it's snapping. What does snap to pixel is helps you snap directly to the edge of any element per pixel in the distance. So we can see it at the edge here, but to have a very good view of it. Now let's turn to our wireframe mode. Let's turn to wireframe mode. Wireframe mode on Illustrator by clicking on Control Y. So when we come to wireframe mode, then we can see that some parts are still not closed. So we can adjust that by, see, don't forget to hold on your shift. Everything you're doing, you have to hold on your shift. Now let's pull this a bit. So snap to pixel distance is not helping us at all right now as well. So let's turn it off and see. So let's go back again. Okay, we turn the snap to pixel off. Okay, yeah. Then the same thing applies to this. Don't forget to hold on your Alt, your Shift to maintain the ratio. Let's zoom in to see. Still the snap. So we need to snap somewhere to get the actual edge. So let's use snap to point and see if it's going to. Yes, this is snap to point. Okay. Then we'll come here. Make sure this also snaps. So make sure you're holding on your Alt key. Okay. Okay. Yes. Now this is what we have currently. And we can turn off the wireframe mode by clicking on Ctrl Y again. Then we can come here, give it the same value for the width. We also make enter. So 1. So unit for the width. Now we can make. Now we select all the whole shape. Just selecting all the whole shape. So click on Shape Builder tool. We can also break this by holding on hold. We can add. What Shape Builder tool does is it helps you create a shape by selection. So I can create a shape from this actual area separate from every other area in this particular selection of, so in this particular composition of circles. So that means before I can Shape Builder tool, I must select the object. So if I select this object, the Shape Builder tool, if I don't select this, the Shape Builder tool will only work around this area. It will not affect this at all. So we are selecting everything so that the Shape Builder tool. So after selection of all the shape, they will come, click on Shape Builder tool. Then so what it does, it's like I said, it helps create an automatic shape by an enclosed space. So, and you can also remove a shape automatically by just selecting the shape. But before you can do that, you have to hold on the Alt key. Then you see a minus sign. As you can see, we can see the minus when we release the Alt key. We see the plus, Alt key again, the minus. So that's how it works. So I'm clicking on Alt key to just break this point of this circle. Then I have a complete shape parameter. So I want to make this a single shape. So I will click inside again to make it a single shape. Then every other, come to selection tool. Then every other shape can go out. So I can select this, click out, select this. Then I'll click on delete, select this too, and delete. So I have my shape created from just this particular composition. And then I can make a rounded bottom. So select this to make it rounded, hold on control, then drag it up, drag the point up, then this is what we have. So afterwards, let's turn on our sketch. So this is our sketch. And now we have a bit of setback, like we still need this to push up a little bit. So if you want this to push up a bit, hold on control, then we can drag the point up, Ctrl Z, hold on control again, then double tap on that point, then we can drag the point up. Just not so much while holding on shift up. Not so much, just gradual process, then we release it. So that's an actual proportion of what we need. Because the sketch will not definitely give us a perfect proportion. So let's turn it off again and work on the bottom. Let's turn it off again. Okay. Okay, it's locked. Let's turn it off. Yeah. Now we have our actual shape. This is the body of the rocket or the missile. So now let's create shape. Now to do that, we'll create a vertical line to divide the shape we just created. Straight vertical line, then we have something of this nature. So after doing that, then we can create a rectangle shape at the bottom here. So after creating a rectangular shape at the bottom, then we can click on our move tool and try to place it perfectly at the center of the shape. Then when we're done with that, we hold on control to move the point of the rectangle by selecting on it. Double tap, then hold on shift to make it straight, then drop on this edge. Now after that, then we can move this, double tap also. Then this particular one can come at the center. Move this to the center. So then we can come here, select this and pull down. To pulling down, then hold on control again, then a point to come outside. We'll pull up. Yes. So now let's create the second bottom shape. As we can see in the sketch. The sketch, we have two shapes. We have this coming this way and we have that coming the way. So I think we can get a better view of it around around this side. Can get two shapes here. So that's, now let's go back to our logo process design. So we can turn it off back again so we can have a clear view of what we're doing. Now this is what we have. Then we can create, let's create the next shape. Now to do that we can just select, come to part 2, we see this is the shape here. We can turn it on and off. So we'll click it, drag and drop on, create new layer tab, small icon here and release. Then it will create two of it for us, it will duplicate it for us. Then we can now select one or just one, hold on control, double tap, then drag one down and select the other. We can, we don't need this anymore, so we can delete this. Okay, just like the combusting fire. Now let's tilt it. Okay, so she come down a bit. So if we don't double tap, it will be moving. So we have to double tap. Now we have this. That's the fire of our missile or rocket. Now we can make the missile leg, which is the headphone concept. So to do that, we'll just come here, we'll create circles. That's rectangle, sorry. So we can create circle from here. Okay. Then we can move the circle to the center. So to get the actual center, we can use a line to define it. So we draw a line to the center and move and put it at the center. So we can pull it down a bit, pull it down a bit. So which will come at the bottom base of the rocket. Then we can duplicate the circle again. So to duplicate the circle, this is the circle, there's a blue selection on it. So the circle, yeah. So we have a circle here, the blue selection is on it, So just like we did to that, to the fire, we'll drag and drop here. Then we have two on each other. Then we'll select one, hold on shift and hold, then resize it. After resizing, we'll release. Then we'll create the head of the phones. So to create the head of the phones, then we'll come, click on rectangle, then we'll drag and drop the heads here. This is the first head. So we increase the bit. Then the second head. Now, there's an issue with the second head. We might not be able to get the actual distance from left to right on opposite sides. So what we just need to do is duplicate, select, and select the shape you want to duplicate and select the division in between by holding on shift. So we selected two things together. Then we'll right click, then go to transform, reflect, then vertical reflect. So we'll click on copy. So all we just need to do is drag this to the center of holding on shift. Drag till it snaps to the center. Good. Now we have a center. So we don't really need this. We can delete this. We can delete the line. Then we have. So now let's use shape builder to trim the whole shape and have a good view of it. So we can come to shape builder 2, but before that we have to select the shapes that we're working on. So we'll select just the circle and the rectangle on shift to select everything in our half. Then we can come to shape builder 2. Then create a shape first from this by clicking, there's a plus sign, create a shape from it, from this. Then after creating a shape from, then we can delete every unnecessary shape again. So select all the unnecessary shapes, delete, select this too, delete. So we have shape here. Then we have this particular shape too. Now having this shape, all we just need to do is we make some part of the shape rounded. So we're making some part of the shape and you just hold on control, then we see these edge circles. So we can pull, yes, so we can pull. And we can decide to pull just one edge alone. And decide to pull one edge by just selecting one edge. So but we'll be pulling just to these two edge. Select, select. So pull just two edge. Holding on shift to double select. So one. Now we might not be able to get a perfect circle around this edge, so we just delete this and duplicate this to the side. Before we do that, you can believe. But before we do that, we'll make a proper division around this. So let's select a line to divide this. We don't want the edge to touch that edge. So let's select for the division. So we will be dividing twice. We select hold on shift to select the whole shape, hold on shift to select. So we're selecting just two. We're selecting this one and this phone itself, not the handler. So don't forget, if you want to reflect at an equal distance, you reflect at the center, which is we'll come here, we'll create. We always know our center, the center of our image. Then this is the center of our image. Then we'll come, select again, shift. And after selecting, then we select the center too. Right click and reflect, transform, reflect. And after reflecting, we copy. Then we can now drag. You can drag it on shift to align it perfectly well. So let's move close so that we can snap it properly well. So let's snap it properly well. It's actually deselecting, sorry about that. Okay, then shift this. There's a snap, yes, perfect. Then we have this. Then this is what we are after that. So we select for the headset, but before that, let's delete the center lines, delete, then we'll select for the headset. Okay, select every component of the headset. So we selected the slant edges, the handle, and the speakers itself. Then we can now come to shape builder 2. Then on shape builder 2, there we can create a shape 1, create the next shape 2. Then we can delete unnecessary shapes. Clicking delete, select this, we delete, select this, we delete, delete, delete. So after that, we can decide to match these shapes together. So let's just select the shapes. Let's match the shapes together. So should be that you can hold on Alt to break this. Hold on Alt to break this. Now we have this particular shape, then we can click on the single shape to create a single shape, click to create a single shape. Okay, now this is what we have for the headphone. Now we can come around this side and create a reasonable fire here. So to do that, let's select the fire and shape builder tool. Then we can decide to put underlay this. So let's click on halt. Got this. So we have this at the back. We make this a single shape. We make this another single shape. So that is underneath that. Then okay. So let's still make this curvy a bit. Hold on halt to drag. Double tap. Okay. We can move it up a bit. It's looking too far apart. Okay. So let's create a division just like our layers, our sketch said here. There's a division in between. There looks like a division in between. So let's create a division. So the division in between, just create a single line. Create a single line 1. And create a next line 2. So the line looks too far apart. Can bring it up a bit closer. Then afterwards, okay, that's what we have. Then we can select just the line and the head. And after selection, should be able to we'll create a shape from this and we'll create a shape from this. Then we can delete unnecessary shapes. We can delete this, delete this, delete this. Okay. Now that is the composition. Now, what else is remaining in our sketch? We have a circle. It's actually embedded. It's embedded in a circle. Before that, let's see. Okay, let's make a rotation of this before we embed it in a circle. So let's turn this off and select the shape. We can now rotate it a bit. Let's rotate at, as you can read the angle, 36, 38, 39. Let's rotate at 45. I like working with 45. Okay, it might not be able to get exact rotation. Let's stick with, okay, 45 and 69. Then we can reflect it, transform, reflect horizontal, then okay, now we'll not copy. So we have it reflected. So our icon, the logo icon is actually traveling or falling. It's going through a projectile direction. So that's also part of the keywords that we used. Now, that aside, we can try to reduce, let's try to reduce the top of the logo a bit. Hold on, shift, okay, okay, let's spice it up with this. So we spiced it up with this. Now then we can create a circle. So to create a circle, hold on, create a circle, then we'll click on the inside. Okay, then we'll bring it to the center, snap into the center. So we can increase or let's see, okay, it's almost at the edge. Okay, okay, let's put it up a bit. And okay, okay, let's leave it how we We can still move this downwards to be if we want it to really. Okay, can still push this up. Let's leave this about. Okay. Okay, let's leave this about this side. Okay. Now we can select all our shape and create a shape for just the inside. Now we've created a shape for just the inside. Select and let's delete unnecessary shapes. So we can delete this. Sorry. Select outside, then we can select and delete this. And select and delete this. Select and delete this. And select and delete this. So we have the logo icon. Now let's select and keep this by this side. So we can hide this for now. Hide this for now. Then duplicate this to create. Let's leave it at 150 for all. Okay. And select, duplicate. Let's make a few version of it. For this inside, select the circle and we'll give it a field version. Change this to color swatch, not gradient swatch. So black. Okay. We have black. Now this is what we have, and for this, can make this a normal line. So we can touch stroke. Let's take away the strokes for every single thing. I think the stroke is good enough. Just give us some definition of it. So we have this as a logo. Now let's create the tests. Let's create a test. Select. For the test, we'll try several options and pick the best option. So let's create the test around this side. Let's say rocket. Okay. Select and let's try a sans serif font. We try with sans serif and serif font. Let's use this very bold. Okay, and we can actually let's make it about, let's change this extra bold, semi bold, bold, semi bold is good, not so heavy. We can space it a bit, space it to be with about 600. 250. Okay, 250 looks nice. We've reduced the size already too. We can, so it's now about let's make it 16. 16, let's say 18. Okay, then let's create for the music. Okay, music, and we use regular. 11, and let's kind of a bit space it out. 900. Just change the tracking so that we can have it filled to the space 1100. Okay, okay. See if we can. Okay. Okay, let's give this a bit touch to. Okay. And this removal. This looks dry. Let's give it a bit of more boldness. Black. Black seems to have extra bold. Yeah, extra bold. Now we have our first option. Let's try our next option. Let's see the next option for the positioning of our text. Next option, and let's see our final option for the positioning of our text. We'll pick the one that looks more better. So this final option looks a bit trickish, which we'll work on now. So the final option is actually circle option. So first I'll turn on the ruler by clicking on Control R. Turn on the ruler. So I'll turn on the ruler by clicking on Control R. So I'll turn on the ruler by clicking on Control R. Then I can come here, drag the ruler. In case your ruler did not come out, just come here, then rulers, show rulers. You can see Control R, show rulers. You can drag and drop this at the edge. You need to snap this at the edge. Then we can drag and drop this at the edge too. We can't really find the edge here, so let's use this. Then we'll create circle and drag from this edge. So dragging to create circle from that edge till it snap perfectly. So we have our circle snapping perfectly. Then we'll resize. Don't forget we have to turn this. Then we'll resize, Shift Alt to giving. Okay. Then afterwards, let's make it a bit bigger. From the center, Shift and Alt key at the same time. Good. Then we click on Type on Part 2. So click on Type on Part 2. Type on Part 2 here. Type on Part 2. Let me zoom in for that. So click on Type on Part 2 under Type 2. Type on Part 2. Okay, but before we do that, let's try to break the edge of the circle. So let's break the edge of the circle. Go back to select 2, hold on Control, and after holding on Control, you see these 4 options, these 4 dots. So we delete one of it, hold on Control, then we highlight on it, or click. Be careful while highlighting, you don't select the ones that are active here. So let's go back just a bit, somebody touch it. Highlight, then we'll delete. Then we have a semicircle. So we duplicate the semicircle as we normally do, drag and drop on create new layer. Then now right click to reflect, transform, reflect vertically. So then we'll copy it. Then we can drag this, hold on Shift to maintain, and drag it down till it snaps. So it has snapped now, we'll leave it. Now we'll go to, we'll click on Go down, type on part 2, they will come and select on the part. They will type music, rocket rather. Select, we can't see it now. They will come to move to, they will see two bars. This is the first one. We have the first one here, and the second one. We have the first one and the second one. So we can adjust and drag the first and second. Just the first. You can see the second about this side. Just make sure it's on a straight line with the other one. And afterwards, in case we have the text coming in, then we can select this other line and push it out. Then we double tap on the text, select on the text and make it on the center. Text is on the center rocket. Now let's make some few adjustments to our text. So the few adjustments we're making to our text is this. So we'll do well to create to adjust the text in a particular size. Let's check what we have here. We had 19.78 on a 250 scale. Let's see if we can use that extra bulb. 19.78 or so much. Then let's break the gap to about 250. Okay, still too much. Let's reduce it. Okay. Then for the other one, let's create. So we'll still come here. Hold down, then we'll create. Type the text to go, come and select on this here. So type music. Now, just like we did for the other one, select. After selecting this, then we can drag this and drop here, and drag this over and drop here. Then this, we can bring this inside. Yes. Then we can double tap inside, select, and try to come here. Then we'll come here. We'll change the baseline shifts to turn 0. Can change the baseline. Let's drop it down minus. Okay. Any adjustments we'll make on the text character will also affect the baseline shift. So let's use regular. Then we can have a small, should be about 11. Oh, 11 is too small. Let's give it about. It's touching the tail of the rocket. So what can we do to that? We just have to increase the baseline shifts. Okay. Now for this, there's a test underneath that. There's the semicircle. The semicircle is doubled underneath. So let's try to. We're trying to turn the semicircle. I think okay, this is the semicircle. Then we can delete it. So let's say we can delete. Now we have this particular. Let's remove this guy, delete guy. So we have three options. We have this, this, and this. So whichever one we would like to use, or whichever one we'll be using, which I prefer using this. Then we apply our colors. So let's say before we apply colors, let's try some different tests and see how it's gonna look too. Now let's try some different tests on this. Let's try some different tests. You can select this fully. So we can have so let's try a sans serif font. So if you're having a sans serif, you can select it and try to give it a sans serif look. Okay. Okay, and this we can give this to a sans serif regular. Okay, let's see which works like still stick with this. So that is this, you keep trying the best options that suits your logo designs. And most times the client will give you colors they want, but in this particular section I'll be picking the colors. I'll be deciding the color. Let's apply colors to this. So I will do that by picking colors on Adobe, color.adobe.com. So how do I do that? So I'll be picking the colors on Adobe. So let's explore some colors. And we have a lot of colors here, but let's check colors related to music or rocket. Let's see, music. Okay. I really like what I'm seeing. Let's check a rocket. Okay, let's see. The rocket and the music seems the same though. Okay, let's explore this like this palette. Then we can see some color codes. So we have this colors. Then we come here to Illustrator. I can let's create some palettes, so some squares to the palette. We can drag we can have an alt 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the first color to the top, then come back to this space, copy the first color, choosing 4, let's use the 5, then copy, then paste here, Ctrl V, paste here, remove the hash, then okay, 1, then next color, double tap, and we'll come here, copy, and Ctrl V, then remove the hash tag. Okay, and this color, and copy, So I skip this color. I'm just using two of these and two of this. Now we have colors I'll be using. Then can decide to, let's make this, select the shape and pick eyedropper tool and touch the first color. Zoom in very well. And let's see the second color. So touch this. Now I want to select for every other. I selected this image. So I'll select the ones I would like to change. Then I can pick this and touch this. Not blending so well. Let's touch this also. Touch this. So this looks nice. The same thing applies to the rocket. Let's pick this and give it this color and this. But it has to see this way. Yeah, this. Okay. So we have this particular. Now let's work with what's it called, gradients, and see what we're going to have with gradients. So if we're working with gradients, let's start with the fire at the bottom. So to work with the fire at the bottom, we can decide to make it a gradient of. So let's create the palette for our gradients. Create two gradients. One, two. Now the first one should be the dark gradient. Then we can, for the first one, can come here, switch to the gradient tool, show gradient swatch instead, and pick the black and white gradient swatch. Then on the black and white gradient swatch, we come here to work on the gradient. So if you can't find this gradient tab, you can come to Windows, then you click on gradients. So we'll be able to pick it. Windows and gradients. So now on this gradient tab, this is the first color, the bright one. Then pick the eyedropper to color picker. Pick the bright one. Let's make this a bright one, the bright one. Then pick the second color, which is the dark one. So we have it graduating from the light to dark and back to light throughout. So let's work on the second gradient color, which is this. For the second gradient color, we would do the same by coming here, picking the black and white gradients, then select the first color picker and pick the light color. Then the second one picker and pick the dark color. So now we can apply this to our. I think we need a bit of the middle color, so that we can pick a very perfect gradient gradation from it. So let's go back to our color picker and pick this middle color that we neglected the other time, and we can use it. So we can select this and create a gap for the middle color. Let's create a gap for the middle color. Okay, so for the gap for the middle color, we can double tap, Ctrl V. Now we have the two colors. Now let's adjust this gradient that's not looking so close to gradient. the dark part of it to be dark color. So okay, now this is okay. Then let's apply gradient to this fire. So just select the fire, go to eyedropper and pick the gradient we've actually adjusted. Then we can come here around the side and try to adjust the gradient by clicking on gradient. So we'll be able to move or rotate or reduce the gradient. If you come here by the edge, then we'll be able to rotate the gradients about this side. Okay, so it's coming and fading here around the side. Then we can still scale the gradient a bit. Okay, then we can do the same to this bit of color. Then we select, come to pick to select this, then pick the height, then we can pick gradient here. So let's adjust our clicking on gradient again. Then we can rotate this. Okay, we can move it also. Okay, then we can rotate. Okay, so that is one. That's one for the shape, for the gradient. Now for this, let's work on the gradient for these two. So in this particular gradient, let's pick gradient. Let's pick this gradient. This particular gradient, we will be making use of three colors. So if you're making use of three colors, what we do is we create, we come here, we click on the middle. Now we have three colors. Then for the middle, we'll still pick the darker shade, which is this. And for the head, now we'll now pick for the end, we pick the brighter color, which is this. Let's say we pick the brighter color. So this is what we have. The next thing is just to rotate by using the gradient to rotate. So let's rotate to about, okay. Now let's change the scale to about, that's the angle. It's on a straight line, so let's kind of, okay. We can adjust it to an extent to make it more soft. Or pull it or move it up, move backward. Okay, okay. Then we can just come here, select this, then vertical, pick this, and just rotate. Picking a gradient to just rotate it here. So we have something of this nature. Then let's work on this for this particular side of gradient to this. The background, select it, pick the gradient for this. Then now I want to use a circular gradient. So to use a circular gradient, then we can come here, change it to circle. Then we can change the scale to about, let's say, 90. Now we want to move the circle, it should not be at the center. To bring it at the edge, let's see. We click on gradient to, it's looking like an ellipse. So let's make it like a circle, an actual circle. Okay. Then we can bring it up. a bit, reduce and rotate, reduce just like we did for the other ones. Drag and drop. Then for this, then for this, then for this, you can add gradient also. And the gradient, we can adjust it to our taste. So select it. Okay, this is good. Okay, now we can still add gradients to our test. So to add gradients to our test, we can actually decide, let's adjust this gradient. It's not blending with others. Let me just adjust it, make it soft bit, and okay, then for this we select, want to change this, some of this to gradient. So let's say we want to change this medium, right click. I'll change it to create outline. Then after changing to create outline, then we'll just, since it's selected already, we just pick color picker to pick the kind of gradient that we want. It's this color or this color, whichever one, it's okay. Then let's say we pick this color, and you can see adjust the gradient by selecting the total gradient. You can add each one for all of the circles, and that is okay. And that is there for adding gradient, adding color on the logo process and logo design. So we have the single colors, and here we have the gradient color. Yeah, so that is that. Stay creative. One thing about logo design is you have to be creative. Think of how to bring the idea out. You can't be taught create. You can't be taught creativity. Nobody can teach you creativity. It's not possible. You need to teach yourself, learn and learn to know what creativity is. So I'll see you in the next videos. Thank you.